bailed out by the government. So now, until now, really, people keep asking me as an advisor, when will this uncertainty or volatility end in the market? And the answer, based on I don't think it's that this is the avenue, but based on my humble personal view, is that this is the new reality, which fortunately or unfortunately we have to adapt to. So I would say to companies, to businessmen, especially if they're thinking in a global term, to get used to this volatility, that this is a new reality, which probably, if I'm being generous, it will probably last for the next 10 years. Now, prior to the recession, I was one of those who went around saying that there'll be a recession. And that wasn't out of nothing. Myself and a colleague, we looked at, I don't know if you remember Enron. Anyone remember a company? Yeah, Enron. Well, Enron was, until 2000, it was, I think, chosen by Forbes as the best company in America. People used to bring Enron staff to teach other companies how to do things. And I think it was worth something like 40 billion. And in 1 year, it went bankrupt. And we discovered that there wasn't any culture of accountability. Now, unfortunately, we didn't learn from that mistake. But a lot of us, we looked and we said, if Enron, which was taken as a symbol of excellence and got away with murder for all these years, then what about the other sectors which we know that there are, excuse my language, dodgy practices going on? But there were also, so I disagree with people who said the recession was a surprise to us all. Now, I know it's easy after the fact to say something. Now, I'm sitting here and it may sound arrogant, and it sounds arrogant actually, but and you can then sue me. I will say that there won't be a recession, at least for the next 10 years. And I know that the market and the experts are divided, and everybody is worried about the double dip. And if you look at it, if you look at the simple picture, if you sort of look at the micro picture, what will happen if we have another global recession? Now, forget the economical factor, forget what will come, what will be the primary thing will be the social factors. And if you're in the States now or you're in Europe, you're already frustrated because you have, with the consequences of, or the recession, which the European and the American are still paying for. Now imagine if there is another recession. That will lead to civil unrest. And that's not an exaggeration. That would be, if you think about it, that will mean people actually going and protesting, and government, whether, doesn't matter how democratic or how it is, people will basically be fed up to take action. So this is where at this stage we have, there is two wars going on. I think the one which is clearer now is the patent war, where I think it's amusing because now Apple is suing Google, and I think BT is just sued Apple, and suing and counter-suing, and because the patent law have changed. And this is actually good for individual entrepreneurs, because as you rightly said, an idea you cannot patent, but if you made it if you argued that you took a step to make it practical, then you can actually, now it's easy to patent it. You just go online and patent it. So you don't even need funding. So nowadays with the explosion and the ease of use of the internet and with the friendliness in terms of user friendly, if you have a simple idea, all you need to do is just purchase a domain which is for $25. Put your idea there and put it as so that would be classified as practical, that you've put the idea into an invention. Then this is a vague area where I would advise you to seek legal help. But again, legal help, you don't have to have a really lawyer which you have to pay a huge amount. It's an online and you will get the resources. The other war which is happening is, this one is sort of an overt one, which we all now we will see happening, and actually I wouldn't be surprised if companies which I won't name names, but if they get ahead because of a loss in patency and their share drops. Because in the past era, a lot of stealing has been going on for, and the patency rule wasn't really protected. So lawsuit with drags for years, but now there's more swift action. The other thing is the currency war, and the currency war it's more simplistic. This is from a layperson point of view. We have the state, we have China, and we have Europe represented by Germany. And we're tied to the dollar. So we can't say, well, we don't care what happens in America or in China, because now the economy is very symbiotic, that each economy really cannot afford for the other to fail, because there will be the domino effect. So China may appear to be competing against the state or Europe, but I think you have noticed when there is the suggestion of a recession, China will be the first one to help or to lend a hand. China is I think the number one in terms of buying the US debt. So nobody can afford it. Neither China or nobody can afford the recession. But the market is still fearful. So it's because of the media, because of the effect of the media. So this is why the volatility in the market, which is unseen. I mean, if you look previous era, it's almost where I think people who've been who just trade in the market are really at loss to see the swings one day to the other. And the currency war is basically each of these three economies are trying to devalue their currency to export. So the state is doing it by quantitative easing, by interest rate. China, no one can touch China because they can do it at any time because they have complete control over their currency. And Europe, Germany tend to use the fear of the Europe collapsing. And I think even Ireland was very unhappy with Germany because of at one stage when the minister or one of the officials in China in Germany warned about Ireland. And what happened to the euro? The euro sort of went down. That's an advantage for Germany because it means that they can sell their product. So this war will continue to happen, and the reason why I'm saying, or a lot of people in my, few from my camp, we will have this volatility is because this war will continue to go on, because really the system which worked in the past, whether it's, you can say it's the, is it the dollar, is it the financial institution, the banking, it needs radical changes. And the government, and banking won't change by itself. It needs a radical change by government.